Good morning, friends. Welcome to ServiceNow training on application development fundamentals. So myself, Reshma is Assistant Professor, Department of AIML, Dayanand Sagar Universities, Bangalore. Today, I would like to discuss the different topics in application development fundamentals. So here, mainly we'll concentrate on application development overview. Then we'll continue with analysis and design of the applications. Then we have to see how to control access on the different applications of ServiceNow. And finally, we'll discuss about importing and integrating the data in ServiceNow. So let's begin with application development overview. So first, what is application development? So application development is the term that describes the tools and strategies used to conceptualize, design, then build and implement the software applications. So now in ServiceNow application development, it delivers a full stack app development power and easy to use structure. Hence, a ready out of box to get you started building powerful business applications. So now the ServiceNow, it provides different tools to build applications. So there are many flavors of the developer tools. So, but there among those, these three are very important. So there are Application Engine Studio, ServiceNow Studio, and Guided Application Creator. If you go for Application Engine Studio, this is an IDE for continuing development on the applications. And the next one, ServiceNow Studio. This is the most often used developer tool in the ServiceNow for building custom applications. So this is also an IDE-like interface. So then we have a Guided Application Creator. This is an intuitive developer interface which will be used for building applications on the ServiceNow platform. But this provides a step-by-step process to guide you through only the initial application development. So later, the application creation has to be continued with the studio or any other development tool. So now let's see, have a tour of ServiceNow Studio. So because this is most often efficiently used ServiceNow developer tool for application development. So let's see what are the features of this studio. So Studio is an IDE-like interface. So this is an integrated development environment. And this will be used to build custom applications, not only for just building, it will create and modify the application files. And this has a facility called a tabbed environment where we can work on multiple files in tab environment. And if we want to work with 2 or more applications simultaneously, then we cannot do that in a single window. We have to open a new window for each application. But if we want to open multiple applications in the same window, that is not possible in parallel. That is simultaneously we cannot open, but we can open in serial with the help of a special feature of ServiceNow Studio, that is switch feature. This will allow us to switch from one application to another application in the same window. And then ServiceNow Studio, this also provides 2 features. The tools for searching, there are go to and code search. So in go to dialog, this will allow us to search by name or by the behavior of an application. Then with the help of the code search, we can find code within our application or all applications. So then along with this, we have code debugger. So when integrating code, we can troubleshoot by launching the script debugger. So let's have a tour in the ServiceNow platform. I'll just take you to ServiceNow platform. So where we will see our ServiceNow Studio. So now to access the ServiceNow Studio, so go to all, type here system applications. Inside system application, we have to open the studio. So this is the look of the studio. Then here, to access the studio, we can create an application in 3 different ways. Either you can create a new application with the create application button, or I can open by importing the application from the source control, or we can select any of the application which is available in the ServiceNow store. For example, if I open one of the application called lab management. So once we will open an application, all the files related to that application will be listed in Application Explorer. This will include all the files of that particular application. So here it include the table, data model, tables of the application. This will also display the form user interface for that particular application. Then it will display different layouts. It will display the different styles, the navigation. This will display then the client development, access control. So like these multiple files of that particular application will be displayed in Application Explorer. Now, in the same application studio, in the same window, we can open multiple files using a feature called as tabbed environment. So for example, I can open here the data model tables. It is open in one tab. At the same, I want to open some form. See, it is opening another tab. Again, I want to open some styles like this. We can open multiple files in the same window using tabbed environment. But if I want to open more than one application, it is not possible to open in a single window. Then I have to open another window. So now, for example, here I have opened an application that is lab management. So now I want to open another application. Again, go to ServiceNow screen. So here we have to select System Application Studio. So now I can open another application. For example, here I want to open an application called Conference Global. So now another application is open. So, but these two applications are in different windows. Conference Global is in one window. Then we have lab management in another window. So like this, we can open multiple applications simultaneously, but in different windows. So now assume that I want to open another application in the same window, but this is not possible simultaneously. We can open one after the other. For that, we can take the help of a feature of a studio called the switch. With the help of the switch, we can switch from current application screen to the another application. So now I'm at Conference Global. I can move to Service Catalog for mobile. So now I think this is not available. So I'll move to some other application. So I'll open conference booking. Another application has opened. Then we said this will provide two search buttons. One is go to. So with the help of go to, we can search. It will take the input as either the name or behavior, and we can search the application with some particular behavior. We'll also provide the code search to search the code in the application or in all the applications. So then, for example, here I will type a button. Then I will search like the style. If the code is available here, it will be displayed. In the same way, we have shortcuts also for this. So this is We can use the shortcuts for go to. We can create new application with this. Either I can use Control O, Control C. We can search, code search can be moved from here. So like this, there are shortcuts also in the application window. So this is okay. So this is the tour of now let's move to the next part. This we already discussed. So this is the anatomy. As we have seen, there will be a header, content frame to give the shortcuts. The status bar will be there. And then the application explorer to display all the files. And to open, we have used system applications, the studio. So this is the tool we have already seen. So then next is out of scope records. So this is a feature of ServiceNow Studio, which prevents accidental inclusion of out-of-scope application files. So it will protect the applications from inadvertent modifications. But what do you mean by scope of the applications? So here, the ServiceNow, it will be designing or creating different type of applications based on accessibility. So one among them is a scoped application. A scope application is the application which is created inside the studio, is called as a scope application. If it is designed in ServiceNow Studio, it is called as a scope application, and this will identify uniquely every application file. Why the scope of in ServiceNow platform compared to other applications like global or the customized applications? These local scope applications are very, very important. So what are the important features of this? The scope, it will protect an application. It protects its files and data from the conflicts with other applications. Scope determines which part of the applications are available for use by other applications in ServiceNow. It also allows developers to configure which part of the applications can be acted by their applications. And finally, the scope application, it provides strong application boundaries and runtime. This allows installing a new application without breaking the existing application. So this is the importance of the scope applications. So then we have global application. So global applications, they do not provide any boundaries compared to the scope applications, because it can be used to create that. So when we are having very good scope applications, why we need the global applications? Based on the context, the global applications are also important. That is, they will be used to create legacy applications or to merge the multiple global updates in one applications. We have to go for the global applications. Then we have the custom applications. So these are the type of scope applications, but this is not created by the ServiceNow platform, which is meant to create by some other user or the developers, not in the ServiceNow. As we are having this, the application, to check the kind of the application, we have a feature called as application list. So this will allow application developers to view and select the applications. So application developers, they can use the application list to open the custom application record. And if the contextual development environment detects that you are trying to edit an application artifact in another application scope, then it will pop up a message. It will display a warning message and saying that this is, you are trying to open an out of scope application. I'll show that. If I go to ServiceNow Studio, go to the main screen. So now here I go to . system applications. Then I'll open my company applications. Here it will display all the applications which are available. So now I will open Conference Global. To check the scope of this, if I bring my cursor here, it will display what is the type of this application. So this is a so if it is surrounded by a red line, it indicates it is a scoped application. So now what I will do, I will try to convert this into global application. Then it will display a error message. So now the scope is here, the global. Now I will try to open another application, which is a scoped application. System application. In my computers, my company applications. So now I will open conference booking. Now just see this conference booking is, if I see this globe here, it is not surrounded by a red color, means it is a local scope application. And if I try to convert this, then it will display this is conference booking application cannot be changed because global is selected in your application scope. If I want to convert this into local, then it will ask you to switch to conference booking. So this is how the ServiceNow will not allow to change the applications from one scope to the another scope. So now let's continue with another part, is a guided application creator. What is guided application creator? So this is again intuitive development interface for building applications on the Now platform. And this will provide a step-by process to guide you through your initial application construction. It will guide you only for initial stages. Later we have to continue with the studio. So now whenever we are using this GAC, so we can see what are the purpose of this, the features. It can be create a application record. For that, then it has to define the user roles. Then it will be guiding us in the selection of the tables. Then it will also help us to choose the user experience. And then after guiding through these fields, now we can use guided application creator to create application record. And then we have to configure it with the studio. So this can be done in two ways. One method will be through system application, then go to company applications, then I have to create new. Otherwise, directly I can go to studio and create the applications. So these are the stages through which the guided application creator will guide us for the creation. Finally, we have to continue this with the next step, that is through studio or other tool for application creator. Now, before going to the next topic, let's go through the GAC and Studio for the creation of an application. So let's begin with, continue with the ServiceNow platform. Go to all. In Application Navigator, type System Application. Then in System Application, we have to select Studio. Then it will, this we have already discussed. So now we'll see how to create an application here. So now for the creation of the application, as we discussed, there are three different ways. I can directly create a new application, or we can import from the source control, or I can select any application here. So let's create a new application. Click on Create Application. Then here I have to type name of the application. Assume that I want to create an application with the name loaner request. Then we have to specify whether it is global or scoped application. Then in the advanced setting, select scoped application. If it is scope application, then in the scope field, that application name will be automatically initialized prefixed with a letter X. If an application name begins with letter X, then the scope indicates the application will be considered indicated as a scope application. Now click on create. So then here we have to specify application role. In the role, you type here create, click on create new role. Then type the role as loaner underscore request underscore user. Then select, so loaner request user, then select create button. Now a user has been created. Just remember the name of the role which we have given. Then click on continue. So these are the steps which are guided by GAC. Then what is the next guidance provided by GAC? This will allow us to select the user experience. Here we can go for either mobile or classic, but let's consider here the classic. Click on the classic and select continue button. So now it supports in creation of a table. Again, the creation of a table, it is a very, very important stage here, because table can be created as a new table, or existing table can be extended by adding additional features. So now for that, select a create table, create new table button. See, just it will be displaying three options. Either you can upload the data from the spreadsheet, or extend existing table, or create a table from the scratch. So now let's try to extend an existing table. Then click on extend table. Then it will ask which table you want to extend. So we need to select the base table. So let's base table is a task table. We'll select a task table as the base table which we need to extend. Then click on continue. So then it will display a task table with some columns. If you want, we can add additional features. So for the time being, let's just continue with the already existing fields. So now we need to, the table has been extended. Now we need to configure the extended table. So I want to give a new label for the table which is extended. So I will give the table label as loaner request. Then the name field will be automatically populated, because this is for scope application. It begins again here with X. Then here you select auto number. Then it will ask you the option. Let the prefix will be loaner request, LNR. And let the starting number is 2000. And the number of digits I will give 6. So this is the configuration we have done. Then check what are the user permissions, access permissions we are having. Just click on manage access. It will display what are the roles. He has read, create, write, and delete permissions. So now our table is ready. Then select continue button. Now this is, will say, okay, your table is ready. Just again click on the continue button. So then it will display what data tables you want on this. Here we have already a loaner request table. Then just click on done with the tables and start designing your applications. This is done. So now we got some guidance from the guided application created so far. The next step is to build the application using the ServiceNow tools. So here I will use the tool Studio. Click on Studio. Then open loaner request application. Now in the loaner request application, if you go for Application Explorer, it has displayed all the files related to loaner request application. So now we'll move to loaner request table in the data model. Okay. So now here the label is loaner request. Then move to application access tab. This we have already set in GSC. We can see here the table, it can read, create, update, and also allow access to the table via web services. Then I have to view the scope. To view the scope, go to your ServiceNow browser. In the ServiceNow browser, as we have already discussed about the symbol, which is indicating application scope for the particular application. If it is surrounded by the red color, it indicates this is for the scoped application. Okay. So now I will check this for loaner application. One second. So here we'll open the loaner application. You can just click on this. In the right arrow mark, it will display two fields. One is open list, another is open record. If I click on open record, it will display the record of the particular application. So now, whether it is global application or local application or the scope application, it will come under custom applications. Okay, this is about the creation of a scoped application guided through GSE. And finally, we have created application with ServiceNow Studio. So now let's continue with the next topic, that is application analysis and design. So before creating an application, first we have to analyze the application, and then we should have a design of that. Then we should go for implementation. Then how to analyze and design an applications in ServiceNow. So before creating application, first let's have a very good strategy. So in the strategy, for the design, first we have to plan about what is the business logic to be applied, what database logic we are using, and what are the interfaces to use that application. So in the business logic, we need to decide the problem statement, that is what needs to be done by that particular application, what process has to be followed, who are the stakeholders of that application, what is the input and what is the expected output from that particular application. Then in the database logic, we have to decide, a very important decision which you have to take here is about the database tables and what are the columns should be there in that particular table. What are the relationship between the columns or the tables. So we have to define very clearly the database logic. And the application, whatever we are building, it should be a user-friendly. So we have to decide the user interface, whether it should work with the desktop or with the tablet or with the mobile, that we have to decide here. If we see some sample checklist, these are the few checklist features which are specified, but there are many more application features that can be included for efficient application. We have to define, as we said, we have to define a process. In that, problem statement should be discussed. What are the inputs and outputs? What are the outcomes? Who are the stakeholders? What are the steps? That has to be specified very clearly in the process. So then again, in the data model design, we have to select the tables, the columns, and also the relationship. User interface, either it can be a desktop or a mobile, that is a tablet. Specify what are the different security roles. Then we can provide automation through flow designer or schedule script extension or through the email. Then we can import and integrate with different SOAP or REST APIs. And if you want, we can enhance the interface to service catalog, and finally we can test. As we said, in data modeling is very, very important process step here, because while creating the data model, either we can create a new table or we can extend the existing table. Extending a existing table means here table, it has only 2 columns. Then we have extended with the new column. Like this, the additional features can be added to that column. Then while extending, we have to consider about what are the business rules used for the creation of the tables application. What are the UI policies to be followed? What are the client scripts which are written? All these points we have to consider while extending the tables. And in the client scripting, we can use the syntax editor macros. I will not discuss those in detail here. Here some crash code details are provided. We can take the help of these crash courses and we can learn the syntax editor macros. Now here I'll highlight some points about the UI policy and the client script. So because these are the 2 very important configuration features we have to use in the application design and the analysis. So let's see what are the differences here. If I go for the UI policy or the client script, this client script, it will execute first than our UI policy. Because the UI policy has a condition, but the client script doesn't. We can directly write manually through the code. And the UI policy has some condition where we can access the fields which are not on the form build, script doesn't. So we'll just see in detail, I will just discuss here. With some criteria, we'll see how they are differing. The client script and UI policy, they both execute on the form load. But the UI policy, it cannot save, submit, or update on the form. Again, both client script and UI policy, they can execute on the form field value change. But UI policy, it cannot access the old value, but using the client script, you can access the old value also. Again, if with respect to execution, the UI policy will execute after the client script. In the client script, no scripting is required to set the field attributes, but in UI policy, it has to be set explicitly. And the client script, they require control over order of execution which is very, very important here. But even EI policy, it is also required, but that can be exempted. So these are some few differences between the client script and UI policies, which are to be used while designing or planning for application. So now here just I will show how to plan the application, how we have to configure. Again, I will move to ServiceNow window. Here, just go to System Applications, All, System Applications. I'll open in the studio. I'll open an application, or here, assume that custom application loaner request has been opened. So just we'll see what are the application overviews here. If I just right click on this, configure, you can see how we can configure the different features. We can apply configure on different layouts we can do. Then we can separately configure the table features. We can change the script rules. Business rules can be set here. As we have seen, client script can also be written. We can define the UI policies, data policies, UI actions for the triggers. We can give the notifications and we can take the help of the dictionaries. So these are the different ways for analyzing and designing the application. So now let's continue with the next very, very important topic, controlling access. Now in controlling access, what do you mean by control access with respect to ServiceNow? So control access in the context of ServiceNow application access, this refers to, in ServiceNow, application access refers to permission and access rights that are granted to the users or the groups within the platform's ecosystem. And in ServiceNow application access controls, these are used to define who can access and perform actions within specific applications or modules offered by the ServiceNow platform. This also ensures that users only have access to the functionalities and data that are relevant to their roles and responsibilities. And if we consider the ServiceNow access section in table record, then it refers to the configuration that allows administrators to control which application or the models have access to data records within that specific table. And this section is used to define the scope of an access for different applications, ensuring that data remains secure and only accessible to authorized modules and components. So now here we'll see through the demonstration, what if we want to control access on step-by-step process. Here we have to follow the steps, like first we have to define an application scope, then configure the access control list, utilize security policies, implement application-specific UI policies, and finally audit and monitor the access. So now before going to the integrating and importing data, so let's have a demo of controlling access. Now go to ServiceNow developer instance. I'll just close the studios here, which are already open. Now we'll go to again all. Before that, just make sure that you logged in as system admin. Yes, now I have logged in as the system admin. Now we'll go to studio. So far we have opened many studios. So just I will refresh. Many applications already open. So just click on refresh. Then I will go to loaner request application. Open the loaner request. Then open loaner request data model table. Come to data model in tables, open loaner request. Then here we have to examine the features. Label is loaner request. Then in application access, we have to ensure the following fields. Accessible form is all application scopes. And then make sure that can read is checked. Means this loaner application, the particular user is having read access. I will just remove the create and update permissions. And all access to view through the web is checked here. And delete. So now it is having only read permission. I'll just update. This is coming in between. I'll keep here. Click on update. Okay. So now for this application, for the users, we have given only read access. So now we'll come back to the ServiceNow browser window. So here open loaner request all. Type here loaner request and select loaner request all. So the most of these things I have already selected as the favorite. So they are coming directly. So then just come and see here the number of loaner request records. So now what I will do, I will just change this. I will remove complete, close complete. I will change it to work in progress. Again here also. Among these, for few, I will make it as work in progress. Then just, yes, done. Okay, here. Okay. Work in progress. Then click on save button. This also will make it work in progress. Select work in progress. Select. Okay. The reason behind is here we'll be writing a script and try to update the state which are in work in progress to close complete. Because it is having only read permission, it should not allow to change this state. So just see how this will support here. So now we have to create a script. Now for creation of the script, now what we have to do, change the scope to global scope. How to change this? Click on this. Click on the arrow mark. Select global. Okay. So now navigate to system definition, fixed script. System definition, fixed script. Then we have to create a new script. Click on new. Give the name for this script as update loaner request from global. Update loaner request from global. Then examine some features. The application is global here. So now what I will do, I will write a script to test this. So again, using the macros, either I can copy paste, or I can type the new script here. Or if you have already written a script somewhere else, we can copy paste that script here. Or with the help of the macros, I can include that script directly. So let's see how to use the macros. I want to include here test app access. Type here test app access. Just click on this. The script is included. Using the save button, click save the script. Now the script is ready. I have to check whether this will change the status or not. Then click on run fix script. Then we have to click on the proceed button, which is here. We have two proceed buttons. Select the proceed button, which is at the middle. It will run the fix. So then in this write operation, we are trying to modify. If I go through this script, I'll show. Here we have written a script where we want to change the status of the application from progress to complete. So, but as it is having only read permission, it will display a security restricted message. Write operation against this user is restricted. This is not allowed. To verify this, check whether updation is done or not. Open the learner request all. Open learner request all. And just check whether the status are updated or not. See, it remains same. There is no change in the status, because even if you try to update, as we have given the permission only for reading, it was giving the error. It is giving a warning message as you cannot update. Now we'll do additional testing. Again, open the learner request table. For testing, go to learner request. Open the learner request table. Where is learner request table? Just go to learner request tables. How to open that? It is in global scope. Navigate to system. Definition. Fix script. The new. Sorry. So this is already done. One second. Okay. For the section, just open the learner request table. Okay, it is already open. So now what I will do, initially I had only read permission. I will make it update also. Can update. Then update the table. Then I will return to the script. Where is the script? Okay. Again, just see here, we are trying to update. Now we have given update permission. Again, save it. It was already saved. Okay, no problem. Then click on run. fix script. Then it is slow, wait. Run the field script. We'll wait. Okay, let's wait. Okay, click on proceed. Okay, so now if I see here, we cannot see that warning message because we already given, along with the read permission, we are given update permission so that the loaner can, the status can be updated. So now again to check this, we'll observe the result. Just close this. Go to loaner request all. Loaner request all. Now, if you see the status here, just see the status has been changed to closed complete. Whatever the loaner request we are having here, they are changed to closed complete. It was not given any warning message. So this is about controlling access on the applications. So now let's continue with importing and integrating the data. So now import, what is mean by importing data? From where we are importing the data? So importing data is to bring external data into the ServiceNow platform. This can be done with different methods. So like we can use different interfaces like file import or scripted web services. You can export the file, or you can use the URL access. It can be done with the platform web services, and then store in database or email using different authentication or using different tools. And these import sets are common ways to pull the data into the ServiceNow. So, but before importing any data, first we have to understand what data is coming in what and where it should be placed. Plan time before import to verify the data. So means if there are any inaccuracy in the data, first correct the data and then delete any undesired data or inaccurate data which is available. So just what you have done, it will delete the not data which is not required, and also it will do the correction. For importing the data, so the process is like start with the data source where we have stored the file, load that file into the system, then import the set table with the value, create the transform map, then it will be transformed from import set table to the target table, then execute or run the transform. Finally, the data will be mapped to targeted table. So the target table will contain now the data which has been mapped. Then loading data into the import set table. So let here we are using Excel. So data is loaded into the tagging tables, but not directly into the final destination. So all the content from the worksheet is loaded into the stack table, but not all data from the stack table has to be copied to the final destination. Only the required data has to be copied. Then importing the records from the shared spreadsheet. It will take some time. So here we'll take one example, which is discussed in some particular lab session. So where we'll be importing the passwords from the Microsoft Excel file to the new table. So here we'll see how to import the data, the passwords from Excel sheet to the table. We'll see here now. Then again, this importing will be done through web service instance. So configure your development instance to be a web service consumer. For that, we'll just consider an example. Here we'll be having two instances, one developer instance and the test instance. In the developer instance, it will behave as the web service customer and the test instance as web service provider. So now here we'll send a REST request from the developer instance to a web service that is already running on the test instance. Then we'll pass the asset tag value from the loaner request configuration item to the web service provider. Now the web service provider, it will return the password for the configuration item. So this is the process. And now we'll see this in our ServiceNow platform, how to import and integrate the data. So here we need the two instances, developer instance and the test instance. As I have to import the data from the Excel sheet, so first make sure that the sheet is available. So, okay, so here I have that Excel sheet, the password Excel sheet. First, we have to make sure that what are the fields available here so that while transmitting it will be easier. This Excel sheet include details about the asset tags and also the passwords. These are the asset values and the password use. So now in the main ServiceNow window, I'll just go to main ServiceNow window. This is the main ServiceNow developer instance. And check that you are in the global scope. Yes, we are in the global scope. Now here I will open the computers. So for that, we have to go for configuration. Inside the configuration, go to the base item and then select computers. Just I will check whether it is available in the favorite. Yes, base item computers we have already added. Just select that. Then here we have to use the filter to locate the records for asset tags. Then here I'll select asset tag. So is one of. What values we have to select? Go to the Excel sheet. Copy these values. It should be one of those asset values. Just copy paste here and now run. It will display all the computers with this asset value. Better change these computer names so particular to some particular specific name according to your preference so that we can easily tag. So now for time being, I will not do this, but better to change the name of the computers so that it will make easier to find the loaner laptops. So now I have to create a password vault. So now we have to switch to test instance. Again, make sure that we are in the global scope. Now go to system applications table. Select system definitions and select here the tables. So now here we have to create a new table. Create a new table. And let's give the name label for the table as password vault, PASSWORD password. I'll give VAULT password vault. Okay, so then here the name of this will be automatically displayed as U_password vault. Then the create module have to be selected. Create mobile module, I will uncheck. Then module menu, let it be new. New menu name is password vault. Then I'll go to control tab. In the control tab, select create access control. Yes, create access control is selected. Then user role, I will make it as admin. Let user role is admin. Then I'll move to application access tab. In application access tab, accessible form is all application scopes. Let it be same. Then read permission is checked. Okay, it is already selected. Done. Then allow access to with via web services also check. So just save this. So after saving, move to columns tab. In a column section, go to column section. In column section, add two string fields. How to add? Just go to the bottom, double click on this, add two strings. This is password vault table. Okay, I will add two fields. One is password, because these are the two fields available in our password Excel sheet. One is password, which is the another field, asset. I will add asset field also. Add asset field. So two fields are added. Now update the table. So now we have to import. Now table is ready. We have to import the data from Excel sheet. On your test instance, be in the test instance. So now here you open system import sets load data. So then here we have to create a new import set. So where the table is import set table, here we have create table and existing. We click on create table, then give the label as passport import file. Then automatically the name will be populated as U_passport import file. That is for this particular file name, it will prefix with U. Then we'll go to source of the import. Source of the import is here file, Excel file, and then choose that particular file. Click on choose. Go to the particular location where we are having that file. So that is, I'll go here, developer, where I have saved here password. It is open. Then submit. This file is already exist. So I'll just change it to password import file 1. Okay. Yes, submit. Already exists, choose different name. I will make it as FILE. I will just make it double E. Okay. Submit. Then it will display the import processor. State is complete and completion code is successful. So now here we have to select create transform map where it is. Okay, just if I come here, create transform map, select this. So then we have to configure the transform map. Create transform map. Okay, I selected. Okay. So now we have to configure this. For the configuration, you type this as password, use some name. Password, I will give it as password transform map. Then the source table is whatever we have given in the previous step. Then business rule, run business rule, where it is checked. Run business rule is checked, just uncheck it. Then target table, what is the target table name here? Give some target table name. Wait, it will come. Okay. Give password. Vault. Okay. Your password. Vault. Okay. This is the target table name we have given. Now save. So name, what is the configuration we have done? We have made name, given some name as password, transform map. Then source table we have given. Running business rule is unchecked. The target table, save. So then select here auto map matching field link. And here we need to set the collage field. Just examine the source and target fields in the map field related to the list section, and they should be same. Okay. Then just come down, go to the collage field. In the collage, change U asset field to true. It is false here. I'll make it true. Now just check false asset is yes true. Then save. Yes, false. Okay. Then just click on OK here. For the notification, okay, I don't want any notification. I'll just type here. Move this somewhere else. Okay. So now here, click on do not notify me and select OK. Index creation successfully scheduled. If it completes successfully, the index will be added to your current update set default. So click on OK. This is disturbing. Please come down. Okay. Now select the transform link. Where is transform link? Here. Okay. Select transform link. Now in specify import set and transformation map, just select transform. Transform button is selected. So now here it will, on the screen, it will be displaying the link. In the next steps we have, the link will have a syntax like ISET 00100 some 3. So here this value, here it is 3, it may be any value. Then just scroll down to the import set rows. Okay, select this. Scroll down, come here, import set rows. And we can use the data here to verify the import was successful. There are 6, total 7 rows. The data has been imported. Then here I will open password vault, which was created to see the list and assets. Okay, just see here, the Excel sheet is here. If I compare, the values are imported. So 503 here, 640, 815, 814, 517, 666, 871. Yes, the complete data has been imported from the Excel file to our ServiceNow platform. So then another point we have to configure the development instance to be a web service consumer. That here, so using the REST request, we need to, so here we will send a REST request from the developer instance to the web service that is already running on our test instance. So then we'll pass an asset tag value from the loaner request configuration item to the web service provider. And finally, the web service provider will return the password for the configuration item. So we'll see how this process will be done here. So now just in the main ServiceNow window, that is in the test instance, open the system web services. Type here, system web service, system web services, it is okay, system web services. Then click, select here REST. Then REST, inside REST you select API Explorer. Where is REST? Okay, in REST we have REST API Explorer. I'll just select this. If it will prompt to Explorer, select Explore button. Then select retrieve records from a table with the get link. Okay, then we have to configure the path parameters. So go to table name, and here table name is, I'll type here password vault. Just type here password. There are many tables. Password vault. Okay, we have to select use password vault. Then we have to configure the query. Go to sysparam query and use set value we have to set. We can give any value from the Excel sheet. So I think I have 503. Just check. Yes, we have 503. The value I have given. Sysparameter field, you give it as u underscore password. Then we have to configure the request header, response format. Where is the request header, response format? Request header, response format. Request header, then okay, request format. Here we have application. Different formats are there. Okay, let's take JSON format. Then for the testing, click on send button. Then we have to get the response. Your request has been sent. Okay, yeah, we have received the response. The status code is 200. It means the test is successful. We have imported the data from Excel to the ServiceNow platform, the application, and also we have checked this with the web services. And just for the password code was written. Yes, the password code also written. So this is about the 4 topics of application development overview. I hope the session was very helpful. And if you have any queries, please post your queries to my mail ID. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice time.